Welcome in, everybody, to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It is me, Joe Pisapia, and this is BP NFL. And with me, Andrew Erickson, the Undertaker, my boy Terrell Furman, and all of you hanging out with us because football is here. We're fired up. We're getting into arguments before the show even started. This is going to be fantastic today. We're talking about our best bets, and some of the best bets the guys have, I think, are the worst bets. So we're going to have just a barn burner of an episode. Don't forget, everybody, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your pods and download the Betting Pros app. Start betting smarter, not harder. It's on iOS. It's on Android. It's everywhere. You can sync your sports books for free. It'll track your bets across all the sports books, give you the best lines so you can be the best bettor you could possibly be. Again, you can also get a free trial of Betting Pros Premium right now by downloading the app and activating your trial on the upgrade screen. So download the app and get winning some money. Gentlemen, it's always an exciting day. Week one is kicking off tonight officially, and crazy things always happen in week one. Terrell, I always feel like with the new changes to the preseason that week 1 and 2, you don't want to overreact too much. A lot of teams are basically still in preseason mode. Do you approach this week kind of in the same mentality?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I don't want to look too much into last year. These are brand new teams, brand new rosters, brand new coaching staffs for a lot of people. So sometimes I'm looking into last year, but not a lot. Really, I'm just trying to analyze the play on the field and just who I think is going to be better. Like, you got to understand, this is a league of growth. There's a lot of players who were bad one year and going to be good next year. I mean, who's going to be the random fantasy irrelevant player that's been for the past 3 years, and then he's going to be fantasy relevant this year and everybody's going to love him? Like, it's so fun to see how everybody grows in the NFL. So I try to tackle week 1 a little bit different than the rest of the weeks of the season.
Erickson, you got a fresh cut, I see, for the season. That looks good. Number 2, a stark reminder of really what happens, in week 1 and sometimes the craziness. You're wearing a Gabe Davis jersey to remind us all of the chaos, I see.
Yes. For the week 1 victory laps for Gabe Davis. We never quite recovered from the amount of exercise we got from those victory laps because it did not end well for Gabe Davis that season. So it's just a reminder that a lot of things are going to happen in week 1 and a lot of takes are going to be cemented in stone. This is reality. This is going to how the entire season is going to play out. That's not reality. So I'm looking forward to taking advantage of some of those things when we talk about these games week 2, week 3, but I'm excited, pumped for week 1.
I think I got a Sammy Watkins jersey around here somewhere.
Oh, Sammy Watkins is the king.
That's a good one.
Week 1 victory laps.
That is a good one. Let me tell you, very excited about that. Also, I can't wait till we get to the end of this show. You're going to want to stick around to the end because not only do I have the parlay of the week and the upset special to give you, but these two guys are on a game that I'm on the opposite end of. So make sure you're watching the whole time because it's going to be entertaining. I'm just telling you that. All right, let's start with Tampa and the Commanders. Look, Jayden Daniels making his first start. You've got some feelings about this game, Terrell. Lay them on us.
All right. I mean, it's Jayden Daniels' first start, rookie quarterback, week 1, and we have a veteran coaching bunch here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm just going to go ahead and fade the hype of, hey, Jayden Daniels going to figure this thing out. You still have Dan Quinn as a head coach. We saw how his first head coaching stint went. He's 1-5 ATS in week 1 of the season. You have a rookie slot corner for the defense. Matter of fact, forget the rookie slot corner. All the corners are bad. All of the corners are bad, so it doesn't matter. I think that Mike Evans is going to have a feast of a day. I think Chris Godwin is going to have a great day. Shoot, we might even see Jalen McMillan make some noise on the other side.
Like Jalen.
So Antoine Whitfield Jr., Jordan Whitehead, very, very good safeties in that defense for the Bucs. I think they're going to be lights out all over the field. I just am fading this offensive line for the Washington Commanders, saying that I don't think that they're going to be able to keep Jayden Daniels upright. I don't think that a rookie quarterback playing against this veteran defense is going to go out there and light the world on fire. And I think Baker is going to be smooth, steady, do enough with what's given to him. And that's not a lot because, again, this Washington secondary really bad.
Yeah, really bad. I'm excited for the Jayden Daniels debut. Sometimes those debuts can be a little rocky, especially on the road. So that this pick makes a lot of sense to me. Erickson, let's go to you for the first pick, and you're already jumping in to the pool for the Friday game. So let's get this one out quick.
Yeah, we're going to Brazil with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers, and I'm not convinced that even on a neutral field that the Eagles are the superior team to the Green Bay Packers. Who was playing late into the NFC playoffs last year? It was not the Philadelphia Eagles. It was the Green Bay Packers who had the 49ers on the run up in that game. So for me, I'm looking at how well the Packers played last year, especially as underdogs. Looking what they did, so 67% against the spread as an underdog in 2023. They were 6-6 overall, so they were winning games straight up as underdogs. So I don't see this Eagles team with a new offensive coordinator coming in, new defensive coordinator coming in, Nick Sirianni calling the shots as the CEO head coach, that we're going to see it just turn on a dime from last year's collapse when they lost 6 of their last 7 games. They were losing games that they had no business even being close. So I'm going to take the Packers, make Friday night a memorable one. Packers on the money line.
All right, there you go, everybody. Packers on the money line. The most popular pick this week for survivor pools. Sam talked about it on yesterday's show. You can go back and check that out. Actually, it was a Tuesday show. What am I saying? Time is flying this week. The New England Patriots going to Cincinnati, which means, of course, it's going to go sideways. But Terrell, I see you have some feelings about the Patriots and Cincinnati Bengals in a way you'd like to approach this. The Bengals are historically a team that kind of get out of the gate a little slow. You got the Jamar Chase thing going. We don't know how much he's going to play in this game. I expect him to play in this game. I think we all do. I don't know if it's going to be a full complement of snaps, but let's talk about this one here. Let's talk about the Patriots and the Bengals. How do you see this one working out?
Yeah, so I think that the Patriots defense isn't getting enough credit, and I think that Gerard Mayo is going to have them playing a lot better. Is there concerns around the line? Yes, there is. I'm concerned about the pass rush, but the Bengals don't have a really good offensive line either. Like, I have concerns on their offensive line. In fact, they were actually 23rd in pass rush win rate last year. So I don't think that they're going to be able to generate their own pass rush against the Patriots. I don't think that they're going to be able to really, I think it's 50-50, honestly, on both lines, on both sides of the ball. I think both offensive lines give me question. Both defensive lines, I think, give me question. And then everybody's like, oh, well, look at the wide receivers for the Bengals. And hold on, wait a minute. The Patriots still have Jonathan Jones and Christian Gonzalez, who people forget after he got hurt in week 4 last year with a torn labrum. Before that, he was really, really good. He was shadowing
before the injury. Yeah.
He was shadowing Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he shadowed Garrett Wilson during that span too. Like, he was taking on the number 1 receiver. And so now him and Jonathan Jones on the outside, I think is going to be really, really good. Jacoby Brissett, also another name people are not respecting. In fact, if you put this line on Jacoby Brissett's games, his last season starting in 2022, he would have been 8-2-1 to this number. So 8-2-1, ATS to this number. He was keeping his team in close games when he was playing for the Cleveland Browns. Look at last season when he played for the Commanders and he came in that game in relief in the Jets. He brought them back with 3 straight touchdowns. Like, Jacoby Brissett, I'm not saying he's a great quarterback. No, I'm not saying that, but he's serviceable. I think that a good defense, this Bengals team had all this stuff going on in the offseason. We still have questions on the offensive line. The Pats are going to keep this close. 8 points? I've seen 9 at some places. No. I think this is more of a 4 or 5 point game.
All right. Andrew Erickson. That's good news for our Patriots. Maybe looking a little bit, better than people realize. Atlanta Falcons, they're going to be at home, debuting their new quarterback. They're going to be at home with some new pieces on defense. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming to town. Now, I am concerned about the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. Mike Tomlin always got everyone ready to play. I have concerns about Russell Wilson, his ability to avoid sacks, his ability to not turn the football over in this game too, because I think that pass rush is going to be ferocious on him. What are your feelings on Atlanta and Pittsburgh? I'm on the Atlanta side here, but you seem to be on the opposite end.
Well, I just don't have confidence that we're going to see this Falcons offense step in immediately in week 1 against a fierce Pittsburgh Steelers defense that Mike Tomlin gets the most out of every single year, especially when they're playing on the road as underdogs. This is a classic spot where you usually want to back the Steelers, where the Falcons are coming. They didn't play any of their guys in the preseason at all. I think they're going to come out rusty. We haven't seen Kirk Cousins play since week 8 of last year. He's coming off the torn Achilles. So I think they're going to be a slow start out of the gates. Yes, the Steelers offense has not looked great in the preseason, but at least they're playing in the preseason. At least they're trying to get their starters ready to go for this Falcons defense that I'm not super concerned about. Now, it's not really about the offenses, particularly on the Pittsburgh side. It's about how good their defense is. They still have TJ Watt. I think that's going to give issues for the Atlanta Falcons, who could come out a little bit slow. Again, this is the Arthur Smith Revenge Bowl game. It's about who's more motivated, though. Is it all the skilled players that were
I
misused
think
by
it's,
Arthur
I
Smith?
think it's Drake London.
That's
I think
such a
it's
great
Bijan
angle.
Robinson. Like,
But it's not
the revenge
but
game
Kirk
is the
Cousins
players
not,
against Arthur Smith more than it is Arthur Smith on the players. I'm sorry. That's my
Arthur
take.
Smith has intel about all those guys they drafted really high. He knows their strengths and he knows their weaknesses. So he's definitely told his defensive players, Mike Tomlin, hey, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, I know how not to use them the right way. So I can tell you exactly how you need to defend these certain types of players. So I just think, especially with the Falcons being the all-hype preseason team, they're buying their way to a championship, quote unquote, and the Steelers are going to come in and upset it just like they always do in a really weird way. They're going to run the football. They're going to keep it low scoring, and it's just going to cause frustrations for the Atlanta Falcons. So just given how well the Steelers have been, like last year, they were 5-4 against the spread and the money line on the road. So this team, again, I'm not willing to call the upset, but at 3.5, they can keep this within a field goal. I'll take that.
All right. It's a conversation, obviously, that we'll continue to have the next couple of days. And of course, if you want to have more conversations when it comes to wagering, you can do that on BettingPros Discord and the NFL podcast group. And you could go ahead and do that over at bettingpros.com/chat. It's free to join our Discord. And of course, you can make all your wagers actually mean a little something here, or just your picks, not even your wagers in that sense. You sync all your picks over on the BP app and you go join our NFL podcast group. And we're giving away some prizes there monthly and for the big end of year prize as well over at bettingpros.com/NFL contest. Or if you're on the app, just go to the community page and you can find on that community tab the sports betting group there for NFL podcasts. And of course, you can follow all of us. I just logged all of my picks for this week, and I've also logged all of my picks for some of the futures market too over at bettingpros.com/Joe. You could follow Terrell, same thing, bettingpros.com/Terrell, and of course, Erickson as well at bettingpros.com/Erickson. I tried to get him to say The Undertaker. They wouldn't give me that / whatever. It's fine. All right, let's go to another pick here. This one I like. I like this one a lot, Terrell. In fact, I think that...
Dang, you didn't like the other ones?
I like the other ones. I like the other ones. This one I really like. I think if you look at the history of the rookie quarterbacks, the week one typically does not go well. Now, Caleb Williams has a lot of hype, a lot of expectations. They're taking on the Titans, a team that everybody's kind of leaving for dead. And I don't like the Titans this year. But I like the Titans in this spot, and so do you. So let's talk about it, because you don't even like them necessarily on the points, but you're even maybe looking for them to possibly win outright.
Yes, 100%. I
Let's go.
love the Titans this year. I think they're going to be a sleeper team, and at the end of the season, we're going to look at this Tennessee team, and we're going to be like, wow, that went really, really good, and they kept us in a lot of games, and they were fun to bet. Or that team was just horrible. They put up a bunch of points, but they didn't do anything on defense. But I think the defense has improved this year. I think they'll keep them in games. They bring in L'Jarius Sneed, who's a really, really good corner for Kansas City, comes over, and he's probably going to shadow the best matchup for majority of the season for them, including in this game with DJ Moore. DJ Moore, he faced him last year for the Kansas City Chiefs. DJ Moore was 1 for 4, 3 yards in that game. You look at Roger McCreary, another name on the defense people don't know. He was really good in the slot. Jeffrey Simmons, Arden Key. Like, I think the defense is going to be able to throw something at Caleb Williams, and it's going to be unlike he's seen before, especially in college. And we've seen Caleb Williams in college face a tough defense and kind of be rattled a little bit. Plus, I'm all over the Will Levis train. I mean, all the way.
Easy. That feels like a train that's going to break down at New Jersey Transit that Andrew Erickson is trying to get to my house on. Like, that doesn't sound like a good train at all.
Bryce Callahan and Nick Holtz have a plan. They've been talking about this all off season, how they want to get this offense rolling. They bring in Calvin Ridley, and you have DeAndre Hopkins there. I think those are two really good weapons on the outside for him. You bring in Tyler Boyd, who's going to be very solid for them in the slot. He doesn't have to be a world beater, but it's just something consistent. He's going to have consistent options on the outside to be able to go to. I think they'll be able to get the wins. And do you remember the 4-touchdown game in his first game? Like, that was the peak. He showed us, hey, we can have 4 touchdowns.
Hold on.
No, because it's a whole different coaching staff.
It's a whole different
coaching staff.
Hold on, but do you also remember after that tape, then he didn't do anything after? Everyone's like, okay, these are his strengths.
And that's why you move on from the defensive head coach. You bring in Bryce Callahan, a very good offensive-minded head coach. Everybody talks about everything Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. They went to the Super Bowl, all that. That was all Bryce Callahan. He really, really helped that offense. And so this is his chance to show it. Hey, it's not just Joe Burrow. I can do it with Will Levis. Will Levis he's Jameis. He is literally Jameis. We had so much fun with Jameis, and now we're going to have fun with Will Levis. Will Levis is getting this done. This is a really good defense. I think the offense is going to be way better this year. Plus 4.5, sprinkle on the money line. This Titans team is going to be good.
The Jameis comparison is spot on, probably. I mean, there's going to be a lot of that. There's a lot of chucking and ducking kind of scenarios there.
That's all I need. I don't.
That's all you need. That's fair. Look,
hey, if he doesn't win this outright, I'm not mad. I got 4.5 points, and look at since 2018, first round quarterbacks in their first game, 5-15-1 ATS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not going well. The 4.5, I absolutely love. I don't know if I'm quite ready for them to win it outright, but I like where your head's at there. The train of Will Levis. Again, Andrew, it kind of reminds me of that turkey sandwich that you ate on the Amtrak. I think that's like the Will Levis train. It kind of had that feeling that you ate and you showed up at my house. You're like, I don't feel well. I think something's a little wrong. I said, what did you do? You said you ate a turkey sandwich from the Amtrak. I was like, that's a first mistake. That's why you got the Wawa on the way back. You packed the Wawa sandwich from my house on the way out.
Wawa subs are undefeated. I
know
a Wawa.
I wish Wawa was an official sponsor. I talk about the Wawa stuff all the time on the baseball show, Schwarber Fest. We do a whole thing with the Wawa. So they had a Wawa on my corner for the last 12 years. They took it away and the whole town is revolted, bro. They took it away because it wasn't a gas station Wawa or whatever it was. And the whole town is revolted. The thing that they put there, the gross ass, whatever fake ass mart that they put there instead, nobody goes there. I'm just saying, don't take away people's Wawa. They get very upset. I know I do. All right, Andrew Erickson, don't take away my Wawa. Instead, give me another pick too, because you got some feelings on this game as well. So let's talk about Bears and Titans from your perspective.
Yeah, so I like the under in this game, under 45 points. So Terrell laid out the case for fading the Bears offense against the Titans. So I'll just parrot that. But I'm not as high on Will Levis in this particular matchup. On the road against, I don't think you're giving enough credit to the Bears defense. That was elite during the second half of last season. The best run defense in the NFL. 7 of the Bears' last 10 games went under the total, 4-1-1 towards the under in their last 6 games. They're playing at home, Soldier Field, hostile environment for a inexperienced second-year quarterback in a new offense, playing behind a shaky offensive line. So I'm fading both quarterbacks in this game, and I want to take the under all the way because it's 45 points for a guy making his first start and a guy making, I think, his 5th start on the road. You look at Will Levis and what he did on the road last year. The Titans lost by 14 plus points twice, and they went 1-3 against the spread. So I have no confidence that Will Levis on the road. And to the Jameis Winston comparison, the only thing that I don't see is Callahan's offense last year, extremely low average depth of target. They weren't launching the ball downfield. So I think we're going to see a little bit more of a conservative approach with Will Levis in this particular matchup to kind of save him from himself. And short dump-off passes to Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard.
I like Pollard in this game, too. I agree with that.
The Bears' defense last year, what were their weakest against? Running backs in the passing game. So I think that's how they're going to move the ball, dump-off passes, but that doesn't result in a lot of points. So I'm just going to take the under on the game overall.
I like Pollard in this game. I like the 4.5. I'm going to stay away from the over-under. I'm going to stay away from the money line. I'm just a little bit more conservative on this one. So many variables, but I think this is going to be a fun game to watch. Let's go to the 4th picks on the board here for the gentlemen. Let's start here with the Cardinals. A tough start for the year for them, having to go on the road into Buffalo, but it's September in Buffalo, so let's not overrate it too much. It's not like it's December and it's snowing or any of that nonsense. Right now, you can get 6.5 here on the Arizona Cardinals, and it looks like, Terrell, you're taking that.
Oh, 100%. I am not laying 6.5 with Josh Allen first game of the season. We have to see what he looks like with this new offense and if it even translate all the way without Stephon Diggs. Like, I think people get mad at, Stephon Diggs is kind of trending down and all of that, and Josh Allen doesn't need him and everything. But what was Josh Allen doing before Diggs? I mean, he was a bounce back, he's got all this potential after Diggs gets there. And then before Diggs was there, he was kind of average and just, hey, he's nice and he'll be on the way and he's on the rise, but he's not there yet. I question the turnovers. I question the decision making in the red zone. And I think here the Cardinals have a really, really good offense. Their offensive coordinator is actually getting looks for what he did last season for next season to be a head coach. That's how good of an offense they did. They were looking good. They got a win on the road against the Eagles late last year, and that was a really, really big win for them. You look at Josh Allen, when he's closed as a favorite of 4 or more, he's 8-16-1 ATS. Kyler as a dog, 11-5-2. as a dog of 4 points or more, excuse me. He's 11-5 and 2 ATS. I don't think the Bills have an answer for Trey McBride at all. I would take all the Trey McBride props that I can. I think Trey McBride is going to have a huge game. I think Kyler's going to be able to extend with his legs against that Bills front seven and be able to create for his teammates, for a Marvin Harrison Jr. or a Wilson, something like that, because that's a very, very good Bills secondary. But I think Kyler's legs can make him create and extend plays and be able to get his targets open. And then I'm just going to back Jonathan Gannon and that defense. And I think he's going to find a way to make them somewhat comparable. Like, they were horrible. It was so bad last year. That was the bottom. That was the bottom. Even if they're slightly better this year, I think they have a chance. 6.5 is just way too many points, and I'm just not going to back it.
All right. Andrew Erickson, let's get to your next pick here, because you also are, again, on the same game as Terrell.
I do like the Cardinals plus 6.5 as well, but I'm approaching it with the under because I think that the total is just way too high at 48.5 for two teams that want to run the football. This isn't the aerial show that we're going to get from both these teams. Look at last year. When James Conner came back, Kyler Murray came back, they had a negative pass rate over expectation. They wanted to run the football. What happened when Joe Brady took over as the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills? They established the run. They got rid of Stephon Diggs. They have a bunch of young receivers with Josh Allen. To me, it doesn't make any sense for the Bills' game plan to be, okay, we're going to go and air it out with all these brand new receivers when we know the Cardinals' weakest part of their defense is against the run. Makes no sense to me why this total is at 48.5. It's because, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, two quarterbacks that are fun, 48.5. That's where the total is coming from. So I think that this is a great value betting the under here. You look at what the Bills were with the under over last year. Games in Buffalo only averaged 46.5 points. It was 5-5 towards the over-under. And the Cardinals, they were a team where every game at home was essentially going over. 7-2 towards the over at home, but on the road, it's 2-6. So the Cardinals team is, again, another offense that plays much better at home in a dome. Again, this isn't Buffalo crazy weather, but it's still outdoors. So it's still a little bit different for Arizona and their offense. So for me, I think with two teams wanting to run the football, establish the run, you're going to get a score that goes way under 48.5. And again, to Terrell's point, I still also because it's going to be lower scoring, I think the Cardinals plus 6.5 also makes a ton of sense.
All right, before we get to the parlay of the week and, of course, my upset special, we've got one more game to break down here that the guys are both on, and it's Monday Night Football. It's the San Francisco 49ers, I believe, taking out their aggressions on the New York Jets. But Terrell, let's get your take on this game first and how you want to approach it from a wagering standpoint.
Oh, yeah, because I'm about to be quick and let y'all battle it out and sit back and relax. I, for one, paused on the side and I took the under, primetime under. I really don't have a handicap. It's a primetime under. We got two really, really good defenses, probably two of the top defenses in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers hasn't played football in over a year. You had all the Trent Williams holding out or holding in or whatever it is for the 49ers. You had Brandon Ayuk, who was a Steeler, and then he was a Brown, and then he was a Patriot, and then he was a Commander, and then he was a Steeler again. And then he finally signed his deal with the 49ers. I think all of that goes into play, but really it's just the primetime unders. They've been like 60% over the past 5 years, closer to 75% over the past 2 years. Like, they've been really, really good. And this is a really good spot for two teams that actually have some history. Aaron Rodgers, revenge game type sort of with the 49ers.
Oh, stop. He's been in the league
Robert
for like
Saleh.
a quarter of a
no,
century.
He's from California.
He doesn't forget.
He's from California.
Forget.
He's lost in the playoffs multiple times to this team. It's a revenge game.
His family might be at the game.
Your chances of revenge have come and gone, Aaron Rodgers. Sorry.
He's 6-3 in the regular season versus them. All right, that's not my... Let me get out of the way. Here, y'all can go. Y'all can have it.
Andrew Erickson, your take on the 49ers Jets game.
So I'm taking the Jets plus 4.5 on the road. And it's really less about the Jets per se and more about how overrated the 49ers are at home. Last year, 3-7 against the spread. This offensive juggernaut that was unstoppable, that could not be beat at home, could not be beat anywhere. Well, they never covered the spread basically at home. 3-7. That was fourth worst in the NFL. The road team has covered the spread. Each of the 49ers last 12 games. They are so overrated. They're just an overrated team. So for me, layering all the offseason antics, when's Ayuk going to show up? When's Trent Williams going to show up? Are these guys in shape? Ricky Pearsall this is a big thing. This guy almost died. There's a lot of distractions with this 49ers team. And for me, the Jets are all in. And I think it's upset alert. So that's why I'm going with the Jets plus 4.5 against an overrated 49ers team at home. So
it's nothing I love more than the Jets with expectations. Just every single time, it never fails. I want to ask you this before I begin. I seem to remember, I think it was about 10 to 12 minutes ago in the past, where somebody was talking about Kirk Cousins coming off an injury and not playing and not having the groove of the offense and all that stuff. And now you're trying to sell me somehow that the New York Jets in this game with Aaron Rodgers, who hasn't played a snap of football since January of 2023, I want to say is the last time. Okay, it is the fall now, almost just about, of 2024. He was already a quarterback in decline. This notion that, look, the Jets defense is really good. I'm going to give the Jets their defense. Breece Hall's terrific talent, so is Garrett Wilson. I think the Jets are going to be competitive for that division. But however, I think all that noise, all that frustration, you're right. I'm the guy who's been all these shows fading the 49ers. I'm fading them in 2024. I'm not fading them in this game. I'm just not going to do it. The 49ers are going to take out all their aggression on the New York Jets. You're telling me that Aaron Rodgers hasn't played a single snap in the preseason. He's going to go 3,000 miles on a plane. And let's not pretend like there's no drama going on with that organization, with the clown of an offensive coordinator they've got, with Robert Saleh as their head coach, and they're going to go against Kyle Shanahan, who, by the way, is too fancy for his own good all of the time. Kyle Shanahan lost them that Super Bowl. Hand the ball to Christian McCaffrey 5 more times, and you got a ring on it, baby. And that's what Beyonce would be telling you. Let me tell you something else. They've also got a situation here where you have got Christian McCaffrey actually going to play this week, okay? He's going to actually be there. Brandon Ayuk is going to play. So everybody right now is going to be on the field and playing. What it looks like, the toll this season's going to take on, just the way it did for the Eagles last year, it took its toll on them. The schedule took its toll. Some of the other stuff going around all took its toll. That is going to happen eventually to the 49ers at some point. It ain't going to happen this week. I am sorry. I think it's a joke, and I think it's because the Jets are a New York public team and everyone's got their expectations high again. And once again, when Jet fans' expectations are high, how often does that work out well? So give me the 49ers. I'll even push this one to the alternate spread. Give me 5.5. Yo, give me all the 49ers this week. Welsh will be happy with me. So there you go. How about a little parlay of the week, gentlemen? Let's pick this apart. I love the Las Vegas Raiders this week. They're also my upset special, so we might as well just do that first. Upset special on the money line. The Chargers have no home field advantage. Harbaugh's there, but we don't know what we don't know what an offense is. Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, how healthy are they? How good are they? Justin Herbert coming off a foot injury. Josh Palmer, there's no more Keenan Allen, there's no more Mike Williams, there's Ladd McConkey. I like all those guys in theory, but I got to see it in practice. Give me the Raiders. Give me that pass rush with Max Crosby. Give me them running the football, playing defense, and I think they come out here with a W. I love them. Plus 148 on the money line, my upset special of the week. And if you put that together with the Dallas Cowboys at plus 2.5 on the road against the Sean Watson and the Cleveland Browns, and of course the San Francisco 49ers, the minus 4.5, you get plus 802. Erickson, what do you think about those apples?
Just make sure you cash out for the 49ers game. You'll be good to go.
No, I'm going to double down. I'm going to double down on
for that Cowboys game.
Terrell, what are your thoughts on the Raiders, though, at the upset special of the week? Because to me, again, we all think that Harbaugh is going to turn around the Chargers. Mm-hmm. But who are the Chargers right now? And defensively, who have the Chargers been? All of a sudden, why are the Chargers getting so much credit? We saw Antonio Pierce take that Raiders team and win in Arrowhead last year. That was very impressive. I think it carries over a little bit in week 1. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Chargers are getting this love, one, because Jar Harbaugh, but it's also the poster boy, Justin Herbert, who everybody's trying to tell me is an amazing quarterback, and I've just yet said, let me see it. That's it. Just let me see
he's
it.
had some luck. I mean, he's got the rookie passing record. That's not enough for you, that he's good?
No, it's not. You need to be consistent year over year. No, you need to be consistent year over year. They're trying to sell me that he's a top 3 quarterback in the league, and I don't believe it. No, I don't think he's that good. I think he's a solid starting quarterback. They're definitely way better than whatever I have going on in New York, for sure. But I just think that I want to see more, and I don't think he has the options around him. And so I think this is a 3-point game either way. Honestly, truly, I think that the hardball thing is a thing. I think that he will get them to play better. That was the bottom last year, and I think they will play better than they did last year. But if they play better than they did last year, is that going to be so much better? I don't think so. So I like the points.
I think the Chargers are going to be a work in progress that will progress over the year, but it's week 1. And again, give me that defense. I think the Raiders defense is very underrated. They were a top 10 defense in fantasy last year too. People forget that. That's one of those sneaky last round picks. Like if the defenses went that I didn't like, that I liked, and they were gone too soon, I'm just waiting to the end and go take the Raiders that nobody seems to want. Erickson, do you have an upset special of the week, or are you in with me on the Raiders again?
Upset special of the week?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Dallas wins, that's an upset, isn't it?
100% it is.
Win?
Yeah, how Deshaun Watson is favored in a game, I don't care if it's at home, I don't understand. Terrell, you're shaking your head.
What is your take on this Browns?
Let's get your
Cowboys Browns game.
Deshaun Watson.
The Cowboys are overrated. I think the Cowboys are
Oh,
overrated.
but the
I don't
Browns
think they have
aren't?
any run game. No, but okay, so
Okay,
but the Browns
sense.
also have a top 5, maybe top 3 offensive line in the league. They have Jerome Ford, who is a really, really good running back. And if you keep the ball out of Deshaun Watson's hands and only have him pass on select downs, then I think that you're good. I'm not saying that they're going out here and running the score up by 30, but I think that very, very good offensive line backed by Jerome Ford and by Pierre Strong is going to be really, really good running the ball against this Dallas defense. And I think that Dallas has no run game. And I question Dak Prescott as a quarterback on the road outdoors.
When Dallas scores on defense, that's when this game goes south for the Browns, and they're going to score on defense, I believe. Bet that one this week. This has been fun. I can't believe we've got 17 more weeks of this, and that's just the regular season. Wait till I get in the playoffs.
I'm tired of us.
Oh wait, Joe, I do have an upset alert.
Oh yeah.
It's the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, that's right. You're
There we
you are on this. You are wearing the black and the blue proud. Hopefully you don't come out
Dennis
bruised.
Allen till he's no longer the coach.
That's a good strategy. All right. Hope everybody enjoyed the best bets of the week for week 1. Again, we're going to be here every single week doing this. And don't forget to catch the prop show with Erickson, the Welsh, and myself tomorrow. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Terrell and Andrew, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Go Niners!